Okay, so this is the second screencast about doing your final portfolio for the LEC course. So hopefully by now you've got all 8 pages set up, module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to do what's called a collection, basically organize them all together into one portfolio. So from your main page here, you can click on the portfolio tab. And what you're looking at is all your pages. I'm actually logged in here as Bert, and you can see all of his module pages here, 1 through 8. And if you go up very top here, just next to pages, you see a tab called Collections. So if you click on the Collections tab, you'll now be in an area where you can actually create a new collection. And I'll show you what this looks like here as we go about creating it. You can click the new collection button right here. Do a new collection. And we're going to call this, I'd advise you calling this your name, start with your name. So this may be Bert Lowe's LEC online, blended teacher portfolio. Something nice and descriptive. And then you want to write about a paragraph or so, maybe 3 or 4 sentences about what this course was about. Give the viewer kind of a little introduction to this course, what the purpose was, in your opinion, and that goes under the description right here. And then you want to make sure the page navigation bar is checked. It should be checked by default, but just make sure it is. Right here, there's a little checkbox, and then you can do next. Edit collection pages. And this is where you choose which pages you want to add to your collection. So I'm going to do module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you're going to click the Add Pages button. Make sure you click the Add Pages button right here. And now you have all your pages in order. Now it'd be nice to also make sure that they go in order, module 1 through 8, numerical order. If they're not in that order, you can move them up or down using the arrow keys. Let me move this module 3 back down. So you can move them into the proper order here. Okay. And once they're in the right order, 1 through 8, you can now click Done. And here's Bert Lowe's LEC Online Blended Teacher Portfolio. I'm going to go ahead and click on it so you can see what it looks like. And you can see what it's done now. Here's the title of your portfolio. And then here we go, Module 1. It has a little navigation bar. I can click on Module 2. And there's everything with Module 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it makes it really easy to navigate throughout your portfolio this way if you do a collection. Alrighty, so I'm going to go back. There's one more step that you absolutely have to do. So again, we're going to go to the portfolios, and this time as you go across, we did collections. Now we're going to do share. We want to make sure we share this out so that the reviewers have access and your fellow classmates can look at your portfolio as well. So clicking on the share button, you see all your collections and pages should be listed here. And for Bert's online blended teacher, I believe it picks up the access here based on what some of the other pages were, but we're going to go ahead and click the edit access button. And you notice this has been shared out with cohort 1A and 1B, which is what we want. If you do not have anything here, I'm going to delete these real quick. What you can do is make sure under the collections, Bert's, Lowe's, LEC, it's checkmarked. That should be by default. And then you're going to share with your groups. You should probably have either a cohort 1A or a 1B. So whichever cohort you belong to, go ahead and add it. Just click it once. I'm going to add both in here since Bert belongs to both groups. Right now would leave the date and time blank. They'll be indefinite that way. If you do want to put a closing date like a couple months from now, you could do that. That's up to you. The other option you have, is if you want to share this with others. Maybe people, someone at school, your principal, if you're applying for a job, you may want to make this public, and so you'd want to share this with the public. And again, add public. And again, you can put some time restraints on this if you wish. The public one is optional, but you did want to make sure you knew how to make this a publicly available portfolio if you wish to use it. The only thing you can look at is under Advanced Options. By default, allow comments is check marked. That means people allow at the very bottom of your portfolio. There's a comment area. It's completely up to you. You may wish to allow comments, let people kind of give you some feedback on your portfolio. Generally, people tend to be pretty polite. However, if you do not wish to do that, you can actually do one of two things. You can moderate the comments, which means then you'll have to go in and release them, which may be a little bit of a pain, but you could control it that way. Or you can just not allow comments at all. It's completely up to you. I will let you comment on Bert's portfolio if you wish. And then at the very bottom, click Save. Okay, so that now has made a collection and has been also saved or shared out to the entire group. Clicking on Bert Lowe's portfolio. Let me go back here. I bring up the portfolio, and up here, this is the URL, the very top. Actually, you probably can't see it on the screencast. I apologize, but the URL, when you're looking at this here, that's what you that's what you need to report. Okay, if you want to give anyone access, you give them that URL right here. So please check that out. Make sure that's working. Maybe give it to a friend. If you've made yours available publicly, check it out and make sure that they have access as well. Alrighty. One last thing. This is completely optional. We will host these indefinitely. We have no plans on not taking down Mahara, so this should be up for many years to come. However, you may want to take your portfolio with you. And again, I'm going to click on the Portfolio tab, and we've done the Collections tab, the Share tab. The last one is Export. And this will allow you to actually create a standalone website of all your content that you just created. So choose an export format. Standalone HTML website is what you want to have checked. That's the default. And what do you want to export? You probably just want to do your collections. So if you click on just some of my collections, you can now choose your portfolio. Bert Lowe's LEC Online Blended Teacher Portfolio. There you go. They want to check that off. You may not want to include user feedback. I'd probably uncheck that. And then once you have that, so basically standalone HTML website, and then just some of my collections with a check mark here, click Generate Export. And it's going to create a nice little zip file and download it right down here to the very bottom. It brings up a zip file. And let's see if we can bring that up here. Give me 1 second. And you see here now is that zip file. And if you click on the index file, it will actually bring up a locally saved version of your portfolio. I click on it here. Here's module 1. Okay. And if you notice, here's all of the content. I can go back to the home page. It's not quite the very first part's not quite as nice, but it still works here. You have module 2. Go back to the home page, module 3. And this is all locally saved. So you can take this on your computer. You don't need to be online even to do this. You can take these files, all these files here, and actually upload them to your own website if you wish, if you have your own personal web space somewhere. So that's the other option that you have for working with your portfolio. So just again to recap, under the Portfolio tab, we did Collections, created a collection with all your modules in order 1 through 8. We shared it out to the groups. You can optionally make it available publicly. And then completely optionally, however, is the export. You may want to, after everything's been approved, you've gone through, everything's good, you may want to export this as your own little zip file so you have your copy of your portfolio to take with you wherever you may wish to have it. So hopefully that answers all your questions about how to share out your portfolio. If you have any questions, please let Bert and I know, and we'll do our best to get back to you as quickly as possible. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing your portfolios.